Hi, morning guys. Welcome again to homeschool. Today in homeschool, we're going to be learning about fractions and what is a fraction. All right. In my demonstration today, this paper represents a whole. All right. We have not done any sharing. We have not done any division of our whole. This is a whole paper. All right. Now, my second paper here, this one is also a whole. So we're gonna do some paper folding this morning. I'm going to fold my paper like this so that both ends meet. The quality of the video is a little bit dark this morning. Hope you're still able to see. So we're doing some paper folding. We're gonna, in the center here, we're making a crease. And I'm going to encourage you to try. So now we have folded our whole into two equal parts, right? Open the hole, we see that each part, this is a half and this is a half. Therefore, we're able to say that two halves make one whole. I'm going to get my scissors and then I'm going to cut my half. I'm going to cut a half because we have said two halves make a whole. I'm going to just cut my half here in the center by the crease. Alright, and the scissors is a little bit dull, so the edges are not as perfect as I want them to be, but this is showing that we get two halves out of a whole. Alright, my third paper here is demonstrating a whole as well. Now we're gonna do the same by folding our whole into two equal parts like we did earlier with the pink sheet of paper. And yes, we get two equal parts. Each part is called a whole, and so we realize that two halves make a whole again. We're going to further divide that into two more equal parts by folding again, making our crease, and we would realize here that this part is called a quarter. So we realize our paper folding has given us fourths. Yes, so now we realize we get 4 quarters in a whole. 4 quarters make a whole. So let me cut out these 4 quarters. We're going to cut out our 4 quarters. So we cut our 4 quarters. 4 quarters make a whole. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 halves make a whole. We put them together, we have a whole, right? So we can safely say that a fraction is a part of a whole, but we notice that each part of the whole, they are equal. See? They are equal. See? So we also say that a fraction is an equal part of a whole. So if we're having 4 parts, all 4 parts, none is bigger than the other. So what is a fraction again? A fraction is an equal part of a whole. So we cut a whole. And how many halves can we get from a whole? See? 2 halves make 1 whole. Alright. 2 halves make 1 whole. Sorry about that. And how many quarters make a whole? Here we go. 4 quarters make 1 whole. Now, I'm going to be demonstrating how we would write a fraction. So I'm actually looking for a marker. Alright, so here our first paper is 1 whole, so we are going to use 1 to represent that. 1, of course, is a whole number. 1 is also a counting number. Alright? Now, to write a half in words, H, A, L, HAL, F. This is the word half. Now, to represent the half as numbers, we simply put 1, and I'm going to try to use a different color marker for the fraction bar here. I have my bag with my stationaries beside me. Some of my markers off the top, or I might just use a red crayon. That's fine. This is a fraction bar, so the top number, when we're writing a half, the top number is called the numerator. Our top number is called the numerator, and the bottom number is called the denominator. I might as well use a different color crayon to write the denominator. So this is how we write a half. We write 1 over 2. Alright? Now, the top number again is called our numerator, and the bottom number is called the denominator. And we separate the numerator and the denominator by, I don't know if you can see my red line, it is called a fraction bar. Okay? Good. Now, what this means is that our whole, the denominator tells us how many parts make up our whole. So the bottom number here, which is our denominator, tells us that our whole is made up of 2 parts. Alright? And 1 part out of the 2 parts is called a half. Alright? So 2 halves make 1 whole. We say 1 half. If it's 1, we say half. But for 2, we change the letter S and add VES to make it plural, halves. So 2 halves make 1 whole. Now we're going to move on to quarter. We spell quarter Q. The letter Q, U, A, R, T, E, R. Quarter. Alright, remember for our green construction paper, how many quarters make a whole? 4 quarters make a whole. So we represent a quarter by writing 1, and I'm going to separate it by using a fraction bar, separating my numerator from my denominator. 1 out of 4. Remember again, boys and girls, that the number 4 tells us how many parts our whole has all together, right? So it has 4 parts in all, and 1 part is called a quarter. 1 part is, the one at top represents this 1 part out of these 4 parts put together. It's 4 parts in the whole. 1 part here is called a quarter. Alright. Thank you so much. I do hope this lesson was useful to you today. Just a quick recap of what we have learned. Today we have learned about fraction, that a fraction is a part of a whole, and so a whole divided into two equal parts will give us halves. Each part is called a half. More than one, we say halves, and so two halves make one whole. All right. Also, we looked at quarters. When we divide our whole paper into four equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, each part, one part out of the four parts is called a quarter. Quarter. The top number again is called our numerator. The bottom number is called the denominator, and we use a fraction bar to separate the numerator from the denominator. This is a whole. This is not a fraction because it has not been shared up into any parts. Thank you so much for watching. Do ensure that you like this video and leave a comment below and share. Thank you.